page of the Daily Mail this morning. Starmer guilty as anyone over grooming gangs. Maggie Oliver, former police officer, wading into this, saying that actually as head of the DPP, he is complicit in what is going on. Huge pressure now mounting on the government over this. Maggie Oliver says she has no faith in the Prime Minister's desire to get the truth. Of course, she helped to expose the failure to tackle those paedophile gangs in Rochdale. Actually, the caller just before the break, and she's right. You know, we talk about grooming gangs. They're not. These are rape gangs. And I think you have to actually be really blunt in that language.
You know, the caller we just had, it was really moving because I as we were just discussing, you know, we're forgetting these are young girls. They're not women. They were young girls, and young girls were being exploited
And continually ignored.
Exactly. And somebody has to be made to be accountable for that. And Keir Starmer, he can dodge it and do all he likes, but he was the head of the Crown Prosecution Service during that time, between 2008 and 2013. So he has to be accountable for that. So at what point is he going to be accountable for that?
Well, I mean, as I said, he delivers...
just seems to just...
Well, he delivers word salad. In fact,
yes,
Sarah
I
Wilson...
love that expression.
Well, it is word salad. I mean, it's just completely... It's just nonsensical.
Let's just see words. Let's just talk words. But what's really worrying is he thinks that people are going to believe those word salad, as you kindly put it. You know, he thinks that the public are actually going to believe what he's saying. Well, I'm afraid the public aren't. You know, when you're dealing with young... You know, I've got a daughter. What about if that was a politician's daughter? You know, you know, it's just we're forgetting these girls are human beings.
So he says, if we're honest, it's the approach to the victims, the credibility issue that caused these cases not to be prosecuted in the past. There was a lack of understanding. There wasn't a lack of understanding. You shied away from the truth.
Yeah, lack of understanding by whom? Lack of understanding by him? Yes. Well, you're in charge.
I mean, there's a lot of commentary this morning.
Yes. There is.
And Maggie Oliver saying, well, who is Jess Phillips' boss? Of course, Jess Phillips says, we don't need an independent inquiry. Who is the boss of Jess Phillips? The answer, Keir Starmer. The real reason she's refusing to investigate the rape gangs is it would lead to the blaming of Keir Starmer. Now, the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, says ministers supported an inquiry into the Oldham scandal, but it has to be led locally. Interestingly, Kemi Badenoch had tweeted saying, well, Labour really needs to have an independent inquiry. She was basically banged to rights by Twitter saying this is factually incorrect because you didn't call for an independent inquiry. In fact, you turned it down when you were in power, the Conservative Party.
There we are, you see. And that, again, you see, they're forgetting, especially with social media, David. People will talk on social media.
They will.
You know, you've put your head above the parapet by being a politician. And, you know, and I agree with what the caller was saying. She was saying that, you know, they have to be paid. They deserve a wage. We're not disputing that. But what they're doing is they're just covering each other's backs on such an abhorrent story that we should know all the facts, and I can't understand why they haven't got those facts. I'm sure they have, but we're just not being told them.
But also, what have we learned from it?
Yes.
How do we
move forward? Yes, exactly.
Again. It's interesting, actually. This is a good message. The grooming scandal needs an Alan Bates-style ITV drama to move things forward.
That's a very
good point.
Very good point. Yeah. We do.
Good morning, David. Ian in Somerset, good morning to you. The question of how long has Keir Starmer got, I actually said how much trouble is he in, but anyway, how long has he got, has to be countered with another question. Who on earth is there of any substance to actually replace him? Cheers, great show. Thanks, Ian. Very kind of you. Lots of other messages. I have to be a bit careful about just reading this out. This person says these rape gangs are also running riot in other parts of the United Kingdom. I'm waiting on the scandal here, getting the same information. I think that goes back to Monica's point. I don't think we believe that we're being told the whole truth.
No, I can't see it, you know, because I understand she's come out, hasn't she, and said, no, I don't want a public inquiry, and she's done that, as you've said.
And then she says it's up to the local authority.
And it's up to the local authority. No, it's not up to the local authority.
I would agree. Let's take another voice note. Christopher, good morning to you. Morning.
Good morning, David. Good morning, Monica. First time I've seen Monica.
Oh.
We don't need a public inquiry. We need a royal commission where a judge can command people to turn up in front of them and tell the truth.
Yeah, very good point. I totally agree, actually. And also, we need to expedite it. I don't want an inquiry that lasts many, many years. What we need is we need to know exactly who knew what, when they knew it, and why they didn't tell us.
And very quickly.
And very quickly.
Yes.
Let's also just look at some of your, on a lighter note, just look at your... this is a really interesting story. Daily Star, page 16.
Oh, yes. The taxman blitz on eBayers. Now, obviously, especially at this time of year, everybody's going to be selling things they don't want.
Like the Christmas presents?
Like the Christmas presents, yeah. If I see my Christmas present on there. So, side hustler profits targeted. So, the Gen Z side hustlers could be hit with hefty tax bills from this month. So, hello, welcome to January. So, websites such as eBay, of course, Vintage, all these ones, Etsy, become very, very popular with the young.
Very popular.
Very popular. So, they've been given to the end of January, end of this month, to share seller profits with the lovely HMRC. So online platforms have been required to send HMRC data on users making more than £1,700 or more than 30 transactions since January 2024. That's going to be a bit of a blow for some people, because I should imagine they've made quite a lot more than that. So again, they've got hold of the fact that we're selling things online, and now they want to make it clear that it's not interested. Oh, it's saying they're going to make it clear it's not interested in people selling unwanted Christmas presents, but they're interested in professional online traders who have not reported their profits. But you can still make a lot of money. That threshold's quite low, isn't it? It's very low. You can, if you think about it, especially with places like Vintage. I've used Vintage.
Have you?
And you get some great things on there.
I bought a car on eBay.
Oh, did you?
No, I really did, yeah.
Oh, was it there? Did you actually get the car? I'm always afraid if you buy something like that.
I mean, it was many years ago. I bought a Jeep, a Suzuki Vitara Jeep, which has done 120,000 kilometres for £3,000.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I'm always a bit afraid when it's something like that, whether it be there. But, hey-ho, people do.
And then very quickly, if we can, Daily Star, page 21.
Oh, yes, this was fine. This was Squill Me In, for all you bridge players out there. My mum used to love a game of bridge.
My mum loves a game of bridge.
Yes, exactly. So there's a bid to make bridge sexy to the younger generation. So Adrian Darnell of the English Bridge Union fears the pastime is in danger of dying out. Actually, it probably is, because people do associate it with more wiser, I hate to say it, wiser generation. And he warned it needs a makeover to lure new players in, or otherwise it would disappear. It's a bit like backgammon. I used to play backgammon a lot. I haven't played it for years.
So did I.
But yeah, you see, you need to have it. Yeah, you need to have a game. So bridge, actually, I love playing cards. So we do.
Do you?
I love playing cards.
So bridge is like witchcraft, because I don't understand any of it.
I never played bridge. Sorry, I haven't. No,
I don't understand it.
No, so but it then but it's a great. It gets kids off their phones. We play card games at Christmas. It's fabulous. We always do. But then my mum and my auntie used to always play cards with me. So it was a very sad childhood.
No, it wasn't. I mean,
I loved it.
My mum was trying to explain the rules of bridge to me, and I just glazed over the whole time. And I try really hard every time I start, and I'm like, no, you've lost me.
Maybe we should try. Maybe we should join the bridge club,
we should.
David,
but
and
also very social, because you then go round to people's houses, you play bridge.
Yes.
Also, it seems to last hours.
It does. But they have a good old natter, and as you say, get people together. And I'm all for that.
I'm all for that.
Anything to get away from the social media and the phones. Yeah.
Anything to get away from the terrible headlines.
Exactly.
Lots of other messages. Zoe in Lancashire. Good morning, David. Elon Musk had better be careful. Starmer will be calling for his arrest to silence him if he carries on. He'll arrest anyone. Well, it's a good point. Who sounds a threat. The man needs to step down. He's turned a blind eye on a lot of high-profile cases, and now it's all coming back to haunt him. Lots of you getting in touch about this, also about this other story this morning, because if you can't see a GP or you can't get into A&E, front page of the Daily Telegraph, you'll be thrilled to know. Fast-track NHS care if you're an asylum seeker. That's right. So if you're an asylum seeker, you can rock up to hospital and you're seen within 15 minutes. That seems deeply unfair to me, for those people who are waiting hours and hours. And, of course, the NHS in a state of turmoil. It always is. We're going to be talking about that, actually, later on this morning. We're going to be talking about the quadruple threat at the moment COVID, RSV, and so on, and the fact is we got winter flu, which has hit much earlier actually.
Yes.
This year.
Oh, has it? Well, I mean, but it's been all over the news, hasn't it? All the hospitals
we
are
expect
filling
it,
up.
but the hospitals are full and you can't get them out. And then, of course, social care and the whole reform has been delayed to 2028. I mean, what's the point of that?
Don't get me started on that one. I mean, that 23 years to do an inquiry, for goodness sake, on something so important.
I mean, it's been going on forever, and everyone kicks it into the long grass.
They're just kicking the can down the road.
They are, and that's actually is the nub of the NHS's problem, is social care. Thank you, Monica, for the moment.